couple kids out of Denver, Colorado, got like a $600,000 check. Devin Tom McCoy, second grade teacher, engineer, $650,000 check. Tony Bell and his wife owned a print shop, $250,000 check. Jason Silverthorne did real estate, $200,000. These guys were national directors. Mary maybe became a presidential director. I think Vince became a presidential director. A couple of my favorite stories. So Larry and Sharon Knight are a great story. He's retired Air Force. She's another second grade teacher. I mean, the cutest, quietest little people you ever see. Just, you never expect in the world. Larry was somewhat like a cross between Santa Claus and Little No from Travelocity. $400,000 equity check. How about, where's GJ Reynolds at? Tell me you just told your story up here. Did you just tell your equity story?
No.
How much did you get in equity? $2.2 million. Give it up for GJ Reynolds. Louder. I mean, even people, if you can believe this, is he not in the room? A joke's never good when the person's not in the room. Even people like Tony Lucero, if that guy can get $250,000, anybody can get $250,000. They were national directors, $250,000. Now they're royal ambassadors. They earned $5 million plus with us. That was all after the equity. There's people that you've never met, that you'll never see, that have been in the company, that have worked with me for 18 years, that made millions and millions and $4.8 million, JTC. Brian Cummings, $4.2 million. My favorite one's Matt Shoemaker by far. High school kid, qualified for his BMW, driving around with his BMW in high school. He qualified for a little bit of equity, just a little bit. His parents qualified for a little bit of equity as well, less than him, but gave it to him. Because he was, they want to take care of their son and really get behind him. And then there's this we call a shady guy. There's this shady guy in the company. And we didn't know he was shady until the point where we kicked him out, but you don't know. Everyone has one that's your workforce, right? Where it's like, someone get rid of that guy, right? So with us, you fill out an application. We can't prevent it until we know who the people are, and then when they do something dumb, we remove them. This guy was a shady guy. He was from the industry of direct selling. And he was going to manipulate and con that kid and his parents. And he pulled it off, man. He manipulated that family, conned them. He got that stupid family to buy his worthless piece of paper for $50,000. How stupid is that little kid, 18 years old? Him and his parents spending $50,000 for a useless piece of equity paper. Black Hawk down. He's alive, she's alive. She's good. Okay. You good? Gia's going to be my later play with you, by the way. She's friend from Detroit. It's Gia's little buddy. Matt Shoemaker, who was 18 years old, who bought that equity with his parents' money from the shady con man that really took advantage of him, got $1.1 million. $1.1 million. And he did whatever at that point, 24-year-old kid would do. He went out and bought a $300,000 Lamborghini. I think it's a smart investment. See, guys, these are the stories of people that own original equity in this company when we had no one that believed in us, we had no sales, we didn't have something of results to speak of or to point to. That was our first cause. Our first cause and rallied everyone behind. Then we created the second cause. See, the second cause, we had gone from being irrelevant to, oh, that's cute. Like, originally we were irrelevant, like, who are you talking about? Then, we started making a little noise, and people were like, oh, that's cute. Congratulations, we'll graduate from the kids' table, and which is the end of the adult table. You know? That was kind of like the smart minds in the industry. And we went on stage in Atlanta. It's like November 2011. And so we're going to do $1 billion in product sales just in the US and Canada in direct selling. Hadn't been done in 25 years in this industry. I mean, Amway, Herbalife, Mary Kay, Avon, Nu Skin, they don't even do $1 billion in sales in the US and Canada. 600 million, 500 million, 400 million. Sure enough, within a 12-month run from about middle of 2012, middle of 2013, we pulled it off. We went and did $1 billion in sales. Check that box. Told you so. And, we did something I've never been done before, and it was wild. And I remember just how mad everyone else in the industry was. They just hated it. Who are these young kids in their skinny jeans and tight V-neck distressed t-shirts and biceps and dashingly good looks? They hated it. We did it anyways. And then we kind of got a little comfortable, right? We went to the moon, as they say. We went to the moon. We walked on the moon, which is pretty neat. And we also, we didn't have a crusade or a cause. Once we achieved that one, it's kind of like, oh, I know what. Right? We didn't have a follow-up crusade or cause. So we kind of been on a little bit of autopilot for the last, I'd say, 2 years. But there's a part of the story that you know bits and pieces of, but it's important to pull the whole thing together. On this journey, in 2008, we actually sold ViSalus to a company called Blight. And it was a 4-year buyout. And Blight bought the ViPack company. We didn't sell anything else with the ViPack when we sold the company, which was the anti-aging energy product I was talking about earlier in the presentation. And that 4-year buyout ended at the end of 2012. When myself, Blake, and Ryan, we were still there as the founders and the managing partners, but we no longer owned the company. So there was about a 2-year period or so, a little over a 2-year period, where we didn't even own any of the company. And the culture shifted drastically. From a company that was very entrepreneurial, aggressive, quick decisions, innovative, privately held company, we took risks, to a company that was a little bit slower, conservative, risk adverse, publicly traded. And it was a challenge. Because we want to throw the doors open to get the air, for some reason the cold air is out there where the sun is, and the warm air is in here where the air conditioning is. So we'll throw those open. I see people fanning themselves, so we'll get those doors open. So the culture changed and the culture shifted, and we weren't making strong decisions fast enough, and getting international fast enough, and getting new products fast enough, and so on and so forth. October last year, myself, Blake, and Ryan, we spent $105 million between the three of us to buy back controlling interests of ViSalus. $35 million each that we spent to buy back controlling interests. We took the company private. We took the company private. Now, when we did this, there was one thing and one thing only that we purchased. One thing and one thing only. Any guesses? Equity. That's it. Like, there wasn't a box of chocolates. There wasn't, a new car. There wasn't a house. It was just equity. Piece of paper. It was a piece of paper that I personally spent my family's legacy on. $35 million. And if I had a trunk of cash, a trunk of it, not a briefcase of it, a trunk of $35 million for each of you right now. There's a trunk of $35 million for each of you right now. What's your next move? Run. Are you going to run without it, or are you going to grab it and run? Well, we didn't run. We took the $35 million and we bought the piece of paper. Each $35 million. We took $105 million and bought the piece of paper. That's how valuable the piece of paper is. That's how worthwhile the piece of paper is. That's how important equity is. That we would give it all back. Why? Because we looked at each other like, we don't hunt, we don't fish, and we don't golf. What the heck are we going to do? We're 34, 36, 38 now. We're 33, 35, 37 at the time. What are you going to do for the rest of your life? Well, we want to do this for the rest of our life. Let's buy it back. Let's buy it back and try it. Now that's a piece of your mic. Sorry about that. All you guys with equity, I just spilled some neon on your microphone. Okay. So, when we bought back the company, we began making some very drastic decisions, right? We expanded to another 7 or 8 countries. We opened up another one. We started shipping there in 30 days to the country of Hungary. We just started shipping since we took over the company to the Netherlands, Finland, Sweden, Poland, Spain, Italy, now Hungary. 7 new countries. More to come. We threw some new compensation plan drivers out there. New pools. Triple points, double points. How do you guys like the new pools, by the way? We then mirrored those pools back to the leadership for presidential ambassadors to drive the bottom. We launched some new products. One that seems to be a pretty good success. We went and acquired Neon. Anybody a big fan of Neon out there? Another new product coming out at Vitality. So, bottom line, guys, is we're here to win. We're here to take aggressive action to win. But we were still short something. Oh, sorry, I forgot about this one thing. We then, on top of all those other things, took 6% of the equity and put it on the table. The equity that we just spent our entire life's work to go get, and set it on the table for you. You're welcome. And said, here you go to work, be our partner, own a piece of this for the rest of your life. Now, what that meant, January of last year, or this year, what that meant is, you have a shot to own a piece of this company, so that way every single time a shareholder gets paid, you get paid. If Blake or Ryan ever want to get paid anything but their salary, they would have to get a dividend. You'd be smart to get a dividend when they get a dividend. Because even if it's 20 years from now, and you haven't breathed the name ViSalus in a decade, if they took a dividend, you get a dividend. 30 years from now, 40 years from now, pass the company to our kids. They take a dividend for the family. Your kids get a dividend. That's what equity means. That's what equity means. And the amount is irrelevant. It really is. Who cares? If you have anything today that you worked on 20 years ago that you're getting a check for this year, or next year, or the year after, would you care what the amount was if you were still getting one? Yes or no? No. I mean, think about your first job, whatever it was. Go back all the way back to your first job. What was your your first job? Tell your neighbor what your first job was, by the way.